selected, and after confirming all these things, it's considered XRA and other porous features. Important in monometallic. So this work demonstrates about the design of this porous catalyst without any further leaching while recycling 0.4% solvent and catalyst design was predicted like also creates conditions porous feature that catalyst porous PCA. When going on to design the catalyst and also the solvent and other. And the next topic, similar to the other important component which need to mention 41 and 40 metallurgy and the acidic option, and then the hydrothermal method, the niobium, the solid catalyst. So niobium was selected as the catalyst. So after the synthesis of catalyst, the catalyzation like the structure stability porosity is important, which was achieved by from low angle 2 theta value from 0 to 6, where the parent 41 has this first level acid component has increased from the silicon 41, as you can see from the nitrogen as well 344 for higher resistance 280 surface area. So these, according to these two, the even degree niobium ammonia maximum for 0.01 to 0.1 was increased. So here the most important solvents was selected. Australian was selected for. So see catchment with the user these are the results. It was observed that the time of 12 hours was optimum, and the various rates coordinates which implies the retaining micropolar why the use of is the body catalyst which is the recyclability which we studied earlier, but again the magnetic nature and then magnetic HMC was found to be small for the second promising evidently to design the catalyst system and magnetic pathway. So finally to for reducing, which can be employed as reducing agents as well as capping agents as well as replacing agents. So this type of methodology can be used for employed in many applications that the conventional methodologies lack chemical methods which have been used for the production of nanoparticles. So regardless of those restrictions, the composition, size, and morphologies of nanoparticles could be well architectured by such green methods as well as our base requirements. So such biosystem fabricated nanoparticles are safe enough as far as there is no scope, and also many research has been carried out with this, how well the medicinal field and other environmental treatments can be taken to other things like using these biosources. So to be short, with the environmental treatment or biological applications, the biosynthesis of some plant sources like fruit-based, like here a processed flavor, which is a tropical fruit with many medicinal properties, has been used as a reducing as well as stabilizing agents under microwave radiation to form silver and gold nanoparticles in 40 seconds in a short time, and check for its environmental properties like water treatment, like to eliminate reduce the dyes, organic dyes, and also on the antibacterial and anti-cancer properties and focus on biological activities of these fabricated biomediated nanoparticles would be available for such applications. So before going to the applications, how we can confirm the structure of the found silver and gold nanoparticles. So here 2 theta high angle study concludes the structure of AGNPs, the respective planes, and ANPs on the same planes 111, 200, 220, 311 according to the standard JCPS file has been confirmed for the formation of AGNPs. In addition to the for the nanoparticles formation, we is to spectral evidence the found surface plasmonic resonance band that also the change of color colors component for AGNPs at SPR band at around 421 nanometer, 490 nanometer, and 534 for the gold nanometer particles for the SPR band, and which forms the they are going to pink color, bright pink color, with all the various edges. So the XPS can be used to predict the metallic nanoparticles age is 0, state A is 0, state according to 352 or 368, and 3 by 2, 371 eV binding energies, and the respective binding energies of AU 4, 7 by 2, and 5 by 2 has been shown here with the as 83.87.4 eV of binding energies corresponding to space analysis. So now, after determining this oxygen state and the special structures, the transmission and scope and the particle size distribution has been well determined with the TM and the A, B, and C, A to D, and EF, G gets A increase with the A to D. So here we can confirm the formation of nanoparticles with the respective PSD and those particle size distribution in the calculator, which was 9 nanometer for AGNPs and 7 nanometer average size for the gold nanoparticles. So in addition to TEM, the dynamic type assessment will the same average size of particles, the 7 nanometer to 9 nanometer for silver and gold nanoparticle. So as far as the nanotechnology is involved, the size, smaller the size, the properties are better. But this fabricated catalyst, nanoparticle catalyst, employed in such a way that which is biosynthesized without any byproducts or to give the good reaction properties. Why we use the methane gluons or which is used for the pollution removal, organic pollution removal from the water treatment. So as the 665 nanometer wavelength of EV is disappeared after the 210 seconds, 210 seconds for methane 1 and methane 2 and CR with the first order, pseudo first order coefficient 1.2 increments per second. And for the reduction kinetics, procedures of control rate, corresponding rate constant for the pseudo first order reaction has been calculated as per the reaction progress with in the presence of sodium borohydrate. So in the presence of the borohydrate, the respective nanoparticles has been increased range, but without these nanoparticles, it takes around 90 minutes to release the product, many byproducts under the same rates mechanisms. So how well the mechanism can be proposed is that generally the nanoparticles with the NADH forms a complex the outer electronic relay, and that relay has been proposed to play to connect electrons to the dyes. The rate of reaction has been speeded up with the nanoparticles to deliver the electrons towards the dye molecules, and then it gets reduced to the least respectively performed in both cases. So how we know the rate of the reaction is shown in the rate constant for these reduction techniques. The use of silver and gold nanoparticles. So finally, the biological applications for this synthesized nanoparticles where the antibacterial activity of the Pseudomonas aeruginosa, S. coli, Staphylococcus aureus, and basis of the list, the concentration of the nanoparticles and the preparation of the MPTSA and other GSHSA has been reported as per the standards, and the zone of exhibition compared to the both the nanoparticles with the several with the millimeter size has been shown in the tabular column with the measuring and with respect to the concentration of the gold nanoparticles was relatively higher than of the silver nanoparticles achieved in the antibacterial activity. And the mechanism proposed the rate of oxygen species over these such antibacteria involved in the pathogenic system. The next biological property was to study the anti-cancer property of the MCF7 type breast cancer cells or the biosynthesized silver and gold nanoparticles. The cell viability was checked for the and compared to the control system. It was about 91% and for 66.25 microgram per hour. Gold nanoparticles was little bit more better than that of the silver nanoparticles compared various concentrations. When it comes to morphological analysis, the microscope, which comes with the mechanism of increase the rate of oxygen species. Restricting the cancer cells to divide and grow. So, in addition to these dose-dependent GSH glutathione depletion is important for the anti-cancer cells, anti-cancer activity on this fabricated where the gold nanoparticles was superior than that of the IgMPs, even though it was evident from these studies, GSH and the other cell viability studies. So as far as the highlights of these work mainly proposed that the fabrication of GMPs and the AMPs by applying selected fruit extract. Also, this synthesis functioning to very spectral analysis, confirming the formation of nanoparticles from SPR brand. 490 nanometer and 532 nanometer and assigned to the respective these formations. So the chemical environment binding energy states that the presence of zero valent metallic AgMP ions and the dye after extraction revealed the remarkable catalytic activity. The kinetic data available calculated for the ethylene blue carbonate, which has been optimized under various conditions. And moreover, the biological coming to the biological properties, it had potential ability for antibacterial and anti-cancer property with the greater cell viability and GSH levels. In addition to this, anti-scavenging properties was also proposed, and the main mechanism would be possible with the target of destroying nuclear membranes of the cancer cells, thereby slowing the migration of the cancer cells and further invasion. So here is the cytotoxic effect of the fabricated NP except the increase in the avoidance level that occurred through the outstage test. In addition to these, the selectivity, sensitivity, and catalytic activity as a whole could be considered for the water treatment, the other organic pollutant treatment, and also the notion of the prospective applications in medication, drug delivery, and absorptions and biocatalysis. So here will I conclude my talk on these proposed topics. Thank you.
Есть ли какие-то вопросы? Нет вопросов?
Artikan, thank you very much for your introduction, for the introduction of your scientific work. The students who are present here have no questions.
Well, thank you. If you can refer if you have any questions or suggestions or advice, you can email me. If you can find it on the paper. Thank you very much.
Если какие-то вопросы будут, можете по почте отправить. Те, кто онлайн присутствует, есть какие-то вопросы? Okay, no questions. So thank you very much, Karthik. Now we're going to invite Professor Jafari, Dr. Jafari, please.
Hello everyone.
We can hear you.
I can start. Okay, today I'm talking about science and reality. I don't know if you have my PowerPoint too.
Что-то связанное с городской инфраструктурой и
Excuse me, do you hear me that I can start?
We can hear you well, please.
Today I'm talking about science and reality. The question is, does science present the reality of the world, or is it only our imagination? Of course, answer to this question is a little bit difficult. So I want to attention to these famous artists, Leonardo da Vinci and Pablo Picasso. Maybe you know both of them, one from the 16th century, from classic age, and Picasso from 20th century. He is a modern artist. If you look at the famous paintings of Leonardo da Vinci that I bring here, Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, maybe you can understand it only with one logic. But of course, there are many secrets in these paintings. I do not want to answer to this kind of secrets. But look at the paintings of Picasso. Maybe with one looking, we cannot understand them easily. What is inside? Why they are different? Can Leonardo da Vinci and the people living at that time can understand these paintings? Sometimes, even for us, these paintings also are difficult to understand. I want to know what is the difference between these two arts that comes from our looking to the world. I want to say that now we are looking to the world different from, for example, 500 years ago that Leonardo da Vinci lived. Look at the other picture here. I bring some famous musicians, Bach, Beethoven, Yanni, and also Tchaikovsky. That, for example, if Beethoven or Yanni playing piano, then Bach exists, when Bach plays, maybe they judge that they are not music. If they do not know music, are they playing? I want to say what is happening in our point of view, that I want to explain what is it. At least there are two main paradigms to our looking to the world. That here I want to compare science and arts at the same time to understand these kind of paradigms. In the left, I bring some paintings from classic age, when we believe we understand the world as it is. And also, in the left, I bring some things in the classic science that we can study and model anything that we are watching.
Dr. Jafari, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Could you please make your presentation bigger on the full screen?
Yes, I don't know, this is...
Okay, thank you very much.
Нормально?
Is it okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Go on, please.
But look at the modern age. In the modern age, we believe our interaction and understanding the world is based on our interaction and nature. It means we do not know exactly what is the reality, but the reality exists. But our interaction with the reality of the world make our perception about the world. So, quantum mechanics and maybe the Einstein's relativity theory is one of them. Both of them are from the modern age. That measurement and interaction is so important. It means without any interaction with the world, we not understand it. There are some articles in physics, we know them as neutrino. Neutrino is no interaction with matter, so sometimes they pass the Earth without any interaction. If we can ask them, have you seen anything around you when they pass the Earth? They say no, because there is no interaction between these particles and Earth. So it means we understand the reality of the world based on our interaction and measurement. Here I bring some modern paints. For example, the upper one is point of view of artists from the Bond Street. Maybe he works many times on it, but when he wants to paint it, he didn't pay attention to many things. This picture a little bit not clear. Some points are red. That picture that the artist maybe wants to say that I only have attention to these places, nothing else. Maybe we have some experience of walking in the street many times, but when I want to explain this street, maybe a little bit different from my friends that also he may be walking in this street many times. Why? We present the reality different, because we only present based on our interaction or our attention to this street. So there is a nice sentence about the modern age that science is the geometry of reality. It's not exactly the reality. It's based on point of view the artist or scientist looking to the world. Of course, they are so beautiful, so this sentence said science is the geometry of reality. The third paradigm that I want to explain is postmodernism. Postmodern age that maybe is the equivalent in the science as complexity, a little bit different. This comes from this question. So it means since we do not understand the reality, we only understand it based on our interaction. But the question is, who knows the reality? It seems nobody knows the reality. So how believe that reality exists? Nobody can say that, because nobody knows the reality. Every of us have only understanding and perception of the world based on our interaction. So in this age, nobody believes the reality exists. So the important sentence that philosophy said that is so interesting, he said that the dead of writer. It means the writer or artist or scientist may write a special paper. What he exactly means for his arts and what I want to understand based on looking to his arts are the same. It means sometimes artists can say some things even he do not think about it too. For this reason, sometimes we see some different arts that when we are looking them, I can present it different from the other person, and maybe both of them different from the artist that created it. So, in this age, Maybe in the past, when we wanted to know systems, we should know all elements. If we know the elements, it means we can understand the physics. But in this age, if you look at the elements of the arts, it is not easy to understand what is the message of in the whole. I want to say that whole is completely different from the elements. In the science also, we believe our science knows these elements, but it's not complete because these elements come together and we are looking to the world and nature as a whole story, as a puzzle. When we know all elements, it doesn't mean we know this picture that exists in the puzzle. And the whole completely have an independent identifier, same as the elements. For example, you produce some genes. We are not very important because genes are not important. And maybe which one right? We want to say that both of them can be right. Or maybe I have the other sentence that two opposite things at the same time, they are not correct. This is the kind of sentence in the classic age and modern age. But in the postmodern age, both of them can be correct. For example, I believe these two persons are friends, and the other person, my friend, believe no, there is no relation between these two persons. Who's right? For my case, I believe it. So it is right for me. And also he believes it's opposite of my idea. Also, it can be right too. Who can judge which one is right? When we do not know a reality, when we do not know how we can access the reality, nobody can judge who's right. So both of them at the same time can be right. For this reason, I said these opposite sentences can be right at the same time, but maybe in the past, when we are living in the classic age or modern age, the opposite things can not correct at the same time. Let's present this slide, and I want to say that most of the time we do not want to know the reality. We only want to answer some questions that we have. Maybe we have some experience to programming in the computer. We try to answer, for example, on the solution of the equation that we want to solve by computer. But what is the reality in the computer to solve my question? It seems I do not know what's happening for electrons, what's happening reality in the computer. I only want to answer my question. I do not want to know what is the reality inside the computer. We have many examples that if you look at ourselves or the other person or the human society, all the time we want to answer some question that we have. We do not like even to know the reality if the reality exists. Same as this example that I said. Consider traders. Maybe they have some experience in trading stock market or cryptocurrency or something like that. Sometimes we do not know the company that we want to invest in their customers. I don't know the manager, I don't know the products, I don't know many things about this company, but I'm trading. There are many companies that they are trading only by signal processing and data processing. And they do not know exactly what's happening inside the company. Of course, the success of company is based on, I want to say, that to answer some questions, we do not know anything about the reality and what's happening inside, for example, in the company. There is one of the famous person that he's cognitive scientist at the University of California, Irvine, Harvard. He spent 30 years study in perception and artificial intelligence and something like that. And after 30 years research, he said our perception of the reality is nothing like reality. It means our perception, our understanding of the world. The some looking to their nature, but there are many cognitive bias in our mind. Maybe we have not paid attention to them, that we judge and the reality and the real world based on these cognitive bias. That I can explain 2 or 3 cognitive bias here. That, for example, most of the scientists, their expectation influence in their results. Sometimes they manipulate the data, even they do to solve this kind of phenomena. We are working, but you should believe that the system is not complete in your control. Or exposure effect. That, for example, sometimes you want to choose one candidate from some candidate exists. You only pay attention to some candidate that you know them. Then you do not know some other candidate. Maybe they are more suitable for this position. You do not think about them. This is a kind of cognitive bias that you are thinking without understanding they are exist, and they influence in our decision and they influence in our judgment. I suggest, if you like, you can search in Google cognitive biases. You can find many.
Tell us which slide you are talking now, because the picture doesn't change on the screen. Now we're looking at the slide number 4. It is written their classical age. And
so sorry, because yes, only I don't know which slide you have seen before. This is a classic age slide that I said that we believe the reality is the science present the reality that it is.
yes, we could hear you. We could hear you very well, but the picture did not change. The slide did not change.
Yes. Right now, right, it's changing or not?
Now it is changing. Okay,
Yes.
hold on, please. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes. This is the Hoffman that I said that after 30 years study about the reality of science, that our perception about the world is nothing like reality. I said that there are many things that influence in our information and our looking to the world that sometimes we do not pay attention before, but they are exist. And I include these 3 of them, but I invite you to search in Google cognitive biases, that you find many cognitive biases, more than 30, 40 cognitive biases that right now we know them. That if you look at each of them, sometimes it is interesting to us that we look into the nature and the world based on these cognitive biases and judge them based on this, that even we do not know that they are exist. I invite you to search cognitive bias in Google, and maybe you get surprised with this kind of cognitive bias. During my 6 months collaboration with the university, that I'm so happy that I'm working in the university. I am organizing one conference in March to 3rd March 2022, Econophysics and Complexity Economy, that I invite you all of you to participate in this conference, maybe you like it. My research in this university is based on complexity theory and complex network and postmodernism, and its application in social science, financial market, cryptocurrency, and cognitive science and network theories. I will be so happy if you like this kind of project. We can collaborate, and I invite you to collaborate anytime that you want to talk. I'm ready, just email me. I think I will be in the university next week, and I will be available anytime that you connect to me. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Есть какие-то вопросы? Юлия, вы можете на русском задать? We have one question here.
Yes.
Marina Dneprovskaya, she's a professor at the Institute, professor of law. Her question is about the artificial intelligence. How do you estimate art pieces, pictures, which are created by means of artificial intelligence?
Yes, I think this question is so important because we are living in the artificial intelligence that maybe Hoffman, that I introduced in one of my slides, he also a researcher in cognitive science and also artificial intelligence. He has many simulation and evolution game theory to say what is the reality and why we do not believe the reality. I don't know that I understand correctly the question or not, but he has many work in the artificial intelligence and some simulation to show how our perception about the real world is not overlap with the reality that exists. Could you explain a little bit about the question that maybe I lost the information about your question?
Окей. Вы не могли бы немножечко развернуть свой вопрос? Вы спросили, как вы оцениваете там картины, которые делает искусственный интеллект. Что вы имеете в виду? В какой области? Насколько погрешность от чего? От реальности?
От реальности или от... Вот картина есть?
То есть копия. The question is about the replicas. For example, there is a picture, there is an art piece created by a famous artist, by human, and when people, by means of artificial intelligence, just copy this picture, is the art pieces.
Yes, right now I understand the question. To answer this question, maybe maybe we know that about 20% eyelids are blind to the robots. They are not real in the more than 80% activity was blind to these 20% bots. Right now we understand these bots connected to each other and they make their organization. It means some activity in the social media, they are connected to each other. Our recent research shows there is some new organization based on these paths and connected to each other, and they get more intelligent than before. Right now we understand, some people try to understand these kind of intelligence that emerge from the bot interaction between them together without any control from us. I want to know, in the future we should wait that artificial intelligence, maybe they more influence in our life, even they change our life. And I know they can be more intelligent and they can do many things in our life that maybe we do not expect. This is our new research that I said that we find some new organization in the social media, that new artificial intelligence, that they do not in the control of us, that they can do many things in the social media. But in one of our projects that we are focusing on, we try to understand this kind of organization, and the question for us is, can we control this kind of artificial intelligence that emerge by itself without any our control? If we can understand them and control them, anything that can do it, maybe they can do many things in the future of human. I think artificial intelligence is important in our future life, and in the future they are coming, and they...
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for you.
Ответ следующий на этот вопрос. Он привел пример активности в социальных медиа, когда вопрос был сделан по поводу, насколько точно копирует искусственный интеллект картины, сделанные человеком. Он привел пример по поводу social media, то, что во многих информационных системах, различных социальных сетях сейчас активно используются боты. То есть из всех сообщений, получается, 80% это делается сообщения живыми людьми, каких-то постов и так далее, и 20% это боты. И иногда ботов бывает трудно отличить от живых людей, которые пишут сообщения. И то же самое он сказал по поводу работы искусственного интеллекта в таких сферах, как там, копирование предметов искусства, еще каких-то сферах, которые были приоритетными именно к деятельности живых людей. То, что он постоянно улучшается, постоянно развивается, и в дальнейшем он будет еще больше и больше оказывать влияние в реальной жизни. Также он поднял вопрос того, что как контролировать эти процессы, возможно, возникновение каких-то программ, каких-то продуктов, основанных на действии искусственного интеллекта, которые, может быть, не подконтрольны человеку, но сейчас как раз этим занимаются ученые, работающие в этой области. И то, что вот когнитивная наука и информационные технологии, они очень плотно взаимодействуют между собой. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your very rich and bright presentation. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for you, and thank you for coming and paying.
Okay, now we're going to invite of industrial mathematics in our university. Следующий наш докладчик, профессор Самат, Ноягдам Самат, он доцент лаборатории промышленной математики. Самат, welcome, please. Dr. Jafari, could you please switch off the sharing of your screen? Скажите, пожалуйста, вы можете сами отсюда отключить? Dr. Samad, welcome, please.
Hello, everyone. You have my voice?
We can hear you, but we cannot see your screen.
Okay. Now I want to share my screen, please. I think everything is okay there. Will you hear? Please see my everyone, and I'm Dr. Samad Munyarman, Associate Professor of Industrial Mathematics Laboratory of Applied School of Greece, and Senior Researcher of Social Real Estate University. Researchers and also students showing up. At first, I want to some of my words, and after that, I described some mathematical models related to engineering and medicine. a PhD of applied mathematics, and I'm working on numerical analysis and solving integral equations and ordinary differential equations and also partial differential equations, mathematical models. And also I apply different numerical methods and also some analytical methods for solving problems. I have some papers that I published in 2021. I published 51 papers, 25, 20 Q1 papers, 2 Q2, 1 Q3, and 1 Q4, and some other papers. And also in 2022, I published 5 papers for Q1. Also, I think I have between 20 or 25 papers under review papers. And I have collaboration with some researchers from different countries, from Turkey, from Spain, from Romania, from the United States, Italy, China, and different countries. All these researchers were working on mathematical models and also solving impossible problems and also engineering problems. Also, I'm a member of the editorial board of 10 journals that also reviewed 9 journals that in 2021 I reviewed 210 papers for various journals. And also, in outstanding renewal awards, mathematics in 2020. Also, the number of my projects in my country, and also in Russia, we to friends, and also we applied to RS projects and 2022. Now, what about my main topic? I want to talk about computational mathematics and its applications in engineering and medicine. Here, I talk about 2 engineering models and 2 models related to medicine. About engineering models, I talk about low-level models and related to energy systems and power engineering. Here we can see the models that, as you know, we can provide energy using different tools, such as generators, panels, or others. But we know that we have some limitations related to using this energy because we cannot use all of this energy by customer. So we should save part of this energy in rechargeable batteries. And here is a challenging problem because the load level of batteries can be changed, and we need to forecast hence during, for example, a special time or a special period of time. We need some numerical and semi-analytical methods for solving. At first, we need to model the problem, and after that, we need some numerical and semi-analytical methods for solving those problems. Here, also we can extend the model for end customers. The model would be in this form. But if we model in form of mathematical relation, the model would be in form of a multiple integral equation with discontinuous kernel. It's the kernel problem that the model is nonlinear form, so it's the first term, and after adding some data here, the problem it changed to an ill-pass problem. So, solving this problem using analytical methods would be difficult. Thus, we need to apply numerical and also semi-analytical methods for solving the problem. Here also, after solving the problem using the method, we have to focus on convergence analysis, also error analysis, and also we have this ability to apply the CSTAC method and also the kernel library, which is a new library on mathematical softwares, because we know that all mathematical packages and also all mathematical computations are based on the floating point arithmetic. But using the CSTAC method and the kernel library, we can change the computations based on the stochastic arithmetic. And applying the method, we'll be able to find optimal results here. So make the novelty of course time. And also here we have some results related to charge and discharge strategy for 24 hours. That's for forecast using Taylor calculation method. And also applying accurate methods, finding accurate methods for solving the problems among challenging problems. So we need to apply different methods and find the accurate method between all the methods. And also here again, also the results applying Taylor calculation method and with the empirical study between Taylor and Square. We can say your forecast again. The next model is the model of energy supply and demand system. Here we work on some models related to supply and demand of energy because we know the importance of energy to Russia, and also the model is based on energy resources. Also, we can again extend all these models that we're talking about. We can add some new functions, some new parameters, but if we add, we will have a huge system. And again, we'll have some problems for solving huge system, with, for example, n equations and analysis. It will be difficult to solve. The problem is about supply and demand of energy in Russia, including the Russian forest, including Korean Republic and region B. It's between two areas, and Korean Republic and region B is the Siberian region, which has limited energy resources, but it has high transportation costs and severe climate. So completely we can see the importance of models, how the model is forecasting the supply and demand of energy in two parts, two different areas of Russia. Again, also we can extend this model, for example, for 3 areas or more areas, and maybe between 2 different countries or 2 or 3 different countries. We can look at this model. Generally, these models that we are talking about are in form of nonlinear ordinary differential equations. But the previous model was in form of integral equations. Again, we know the difficulties of solving these models. Also, we should know that the models are based on time. So we can forecast supply and demand in a special period of time, and it can help us. Again, solving this model would be important for us using numerical and also semi-analytical methods. Here also we consider the stability analysis because it's in form of system of equations, and also resistance and uniqueness of solution would be important, and also we can possible convergence analysis. Because of important application of mathematical models with fractional order we can change the model. We can change the order of the derivative here from the integer form to the fractional form, because we can cover more data, and also we can find accurate results that run the fractional model. So it's important, and even I think in 2 or 3 years, solving fractional models is one challenging problem. The next model is the model of COVID-19. Last year we published this paper. We provided this model. Also, we included susceptible exposed infectious, recovered, quarantined, and died. They are all main functions. So here we have 6 functions in our model, and its mathematical form. Also, we have some other parameters. Its mathematical form would be the form of a system of, again, non-linear ordinary differential equations, with 6 functions and 6 elements. After adding some data and solving the model, we can find the approximate solution for the model. For example, we can forecast the death rate in special time. We can forecast the guaranteed rate in special time. I don't know, here in, for example, research 2022, so there are some models that the researchers include vaccinated parameters related to vaccination, and also change the model based on different versions of COVID-19. Again, fractional form is important, and we solve also this model, this fractional form. Also, this graph very clearly we can see that based on all data, we can reduce the death rate if we change something. The rate of infectious rate and also susceptible rate and other things we can increase. So we can increase the death rate. And also the accuracy of the method depends on the numerical accuracy of the result. It depends on all numerical or seminar data. So if we apply the accurate method, we will have accurate results, and after that we can apply some accurate forecast. So applying an accurate method is important for us. The model of HIV infection is important in Russia because according to 2017 World Health Organization report, Russia is among high rate countries HIV rate. Yeah? HIV is growing with the rate of new infections rising by between 10 and 15% each year in Russia. It's estimated that over 250 people become infected with HIV every day. It's really terrible. By mid of 2017, 1.16 million people have been diagnosed with HIV in Russia. So providing a model for HIV and also solving the model, again forecasting the infections rate, death rate, I don't know, guaranteed date, and other things based on the function will be important for us. We can provide different models for HIV because, as we know, the HIV can make problem for CD4 plus T cells or maybe CD8 plus T cells, depending on the talk about these things. But we can change the model based on different kinds of HIV. So again, also here we have a transmit life cycle that I think is for the completely we can see that it's we can see the influence of HIV on DNA and also RNA. So which I might say. Well, also it's related to models that we have many definitions here for these parameters and also some functions. And also we have some other models that because of time limitation, I cannot describe. But the models are related to social science, related to, I don't know, economical science, economics, and also related to environmental science. Here we can see the first one, alcohol consumption and its economic cost. It's related to economics and also social science. The banking risk model, that we have another model is non-linear differential equation with 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Important model for migrated bird population. It is really important because of being laid by close to the coast. And the model is really applicable. The model of computer viruses that I think about 5 papers related to this model. The model of malaria infection, I have 2 papers related to malaria, that it's integer order and also fractional order. Model of, again, smoking habit, that it's really, again, important in Russia. Tuberculosis, TB infection, and also recently I saw some statistics related to TB in Russia. That I think again Russia is among high-rate countries related to TB. Diabetes model and also mathematical modeling of its productivores. It's very interesting and also important. Again, not only in Russia, in all countries. We have a mathematical model. Also, there are many other models that we can talk about. We have its general form, it's mathematical relation, and we can extend and we can enter Russian data, and after that we can forecast. The modeling would be important for us because of forecasting different elements. This forecasting government and also Russian health organizations, some offshore offices about this phenomenon. Thank you for your attention, and if you have a question, I can answer.
Вопросы какие-то есть? Продолжим. Есть вопросы? Как мы смогли частицы отличить? Нет, это не по делу просто. Есть вопросы? Презентации? Юлия? How are you? Thank you very much, Dr. Samad. There are no questions here. Let me ask those who are listening to us online. Те, кто онлайн присутствует, есть какие-то вопросы? There are no questions, so thank you very much for your presentation. If
and also I want to invite colleagues and also researchers and students to join us for industrial mathematics laboratory. Because I believe that we can make relation between mathematics and all other sciences. social sciences, I know economics, engineering, different fields of engineering and medicine, image analysis, signal analysis, and also many other fields. I would be happy if we see colleagues in the laboratory of Bible School, please. Thank you and have a good time.
Доктор Самат говорит то, что они открыты к сотрудничеству, в частности, лаборатория промышленной математики. Математика – это масштабируемая вещь, ее можно применять во многих областях. У вас будут какие-то предложения по сотрудничеству или по каким-то там совместным коллаборациям, мы вас приглашаем в лабораторию промышленной математики, мы открыты к сотрудничеству. Thank you very much, Samat, for your great report. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Всем спасибо большое. Я вас заметила. Хорошо попали, но было
The event is over. Thank you very much, every professor, every professor from our university, every speaker. Thank you very much. That's all for today. Thanks a lot.